There's always been a Baggins living here under the hill. In Baggin. And there always will be.
Hello, 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 hello. I hope y'all ready to watch some Legacy. Cause after this long ass day, I sure as hell am ready to escape into my comfort of magic. Ugh. Okay. Yes, with the upcoming Lord of the Rings. Is there an official name for it yet? MTG Lord of the Rings? Tales of Middle Earth. With the upcoming Tales of Middle Earth set coming out to Magic, we're gonna be playing lo-fi beats for related to Lord of the Rings, because we don't want to play lo-fi beats to Magic. So yeah, I hope you're ready to watch Lord of the Rings, play Lord of the Rings, read Lord of the Rings, eat rings, eat lords. Oh god. All right. I hope you guys are making big dinner, eating big dinner, and are ready to get started. So I think there were only 2 mishaps with our footage this week, so we are slimming it down. But once we hammer out everything, we'll be as good as gold. So I think round 2, somewhere someone forgot to stop the recording on Dave's camera. So I think we'll have a shortened round or a shortened game in one of them. And then while I was playing around with some specific settings, I think I accidentally stopped the recording at one point and then it restarts at another point. So, let's get started, shall we? So I think we'll start with me versus Jeffrey. This is round 1. And we'll switch to this. So Jeffrey. Oh, here, I'll post a deck list to Jeffrey's deck. He's on a new brew this week. Brew every week, so that's fun. We'll post it here. So he's on blue black control, I think is what he's just called it. I don't think there's like a specific theme or anything, just straight up blue black control. I'm on Steel Stompy. Oh wait, no, this is ETB footage because of the wooden table. Okay, sorry, wrong folder. Let me just switch that back here. Where is it? Where is it? Oh god, it's lost. I've lost it forever. Nope, that's Steam. Aha! Should be here. Oh wow, this is very unfocused. Okay. Well, we're gonna set this up. So I am playing around with all the settings and everything, so we'll get everything in focus hopefully. But yeah, it is not me versus Jeffrey. This is Jeffrey versus Aaron. So Aaron, known Jeskai control player. So almost, I think it's fully foiled actually. A beautiful, beautiful deck. So we see him taking a mulligan. But yeah, I don't think. I think so I'm sitting next to them and I lose so quickly that I start to play around with the settings. So it's not going to be like this the entire time. Don't worry. You'll also notice that top right here on Aaron's mat, we have some glare. So that's going to shoot through, and that's just because of the sunlight and where we are, where the windows are. Okay, so we see Search to Plowshare, Brainstorm, Prismatic Ending looks like it's being bottomed, and then another Brainstorm. So he's on a mult of 5, which is pretty rough. So we have, sorry, if we go back. So I think we have Brainstorm, Teferi, Brainstorm, something else. Jeffrey starts with a Scalding Tarn, fetches the Scalding Tarn, and right after I make the comment, obviously Jeffrey not watching the VODs, there's no life totals. So I wonder, is there something I can do to whip up life totals? I would use my death counter to run it, but I can't run 2 numbers at the same time. I'm wondering if I have to... Let me think. Okay. So I'm just gonna let this play, and then I'm gonna try and figure out the best way to kind of figure out how to display life totals for you guys. So he fetches for an underground sea. I might have to make an entirely different scene, which is unfortunate. I wonder if I can think of a temporary fix. So he tops it for a ponder. Maybe we just bootleg it. We're just gonna bootleg it. Okay. What if we go... Oh god, this is gonna be so bad. Do this? No, I think we have to... This. Change this. Maybe we'll do... This is kind of like a clashing color, but I think I need it brighter. I don't think lime green is good enough. What's up, Wilmer? Take your time, take your time. No need. Let's give an outline of black. Give it a black outline. Nice. What's the outline size? 10? I don't even know what size the font is. That looks fine, right? I think this text is too big. Yes, I'm aware. If anyone is wondering what I'm muttering about, I am aware that I am not showing anything on the screen. I have no idea what land that is. Why is this so out of focus? I think that is a Verdant Catacombs. So these guys are just cantripping at each other, so we're not missing anything too detrimental. Where is font size? Select font. Oh, there we go. 256. What did we make it? Like 216. There we go. That's a little better. Properties. Let's tighten this up a little bit. I might have to restart the recording here. This takes up way too much space. I need like way smaller text. Let's make this. It was 156. Oh, that's much better. It's still a little big, but you know, should be fine. Okay. So to get accurate life totals, I'm just gonna start from the beginning. I think we can skip the mulligan phase though. Yeah. Jeffrey will fetch 219. And he's fetching for the Underground Sea, and then we know that he's going to ponder. Oh, you guys can't see it. There we go. So again, blue-black control versus Jeskai control. I think Jeffrey's reason for building this deck is because he still wants to play control, but he was getting out controlled by all of the blue decks that are played at Cardboard Classics. So he was just like, you know what, F it. We're just gonna make a control deck that controls control decks. So I think this is his brainchild here for Tuesday Legacy. So Aaron draws off the top. It's a Scalding Tarn, and he'll fetch as well. This is gonna be a pain. Here we go. Oh, it updates with it. So he fetches for a basic. This is the more safe play, I guess, because he's afraid of Wastelands. It's actually surprising to me. So the tables that we play on at Cardboard Classics are made of granite, and it actually surprises me that the wooden tables we play at Enter the Battlefield are way more sturdier than these ones. Because you can see the table wobbling as Aaron shuffles his deck. I know you guys can't see it here, but this is a Mercadian Masks Brainstorm foil. It looks so nice. I'm so jealous. I really wish I had it. Alright, so Jeffrey untaps, plays the Verdant Catacombs, and this is where we see the Ponder. Like, the bases are pretty solid, though. Like, they're pretty well constructed. I don't know why it wobbles so much. So Jeffrey rearranging, looking like he keeps. Draws off the Ponder. But it's not the pole though. I think it has to do with like the the actual base that's hitting the floor. All right. So Jeffrey fetches again, bring him down to 18. Oh, it changes immediately, so I can just leave this open. Nice. It could just be uneven. Honestly, I kind of like hate the tables. They're just like a shy too, they're shy a bit too small, or just shy from being big enough for holding two mats. Aaron plays basic planes, and it looks like he's just passing. Jeffrey untaps, draws his card. So I think this is just what we're gonna see a lot. It's a lot of okay, so the focus is pretty bad here, but that's just a regular island. It's not a tropical. Jeffrey plays Hymn to Torok. Aaron brainstorming in response to the Hymn to Torok. So we see Narset, and I think Scalding Tarn's Flooded Strand. So I think he's gonna put Narset Teferi on top. Because I think that's a Teferi in his hand. Not entirely sure. So we're resolving this Hymn to Torok. How many lands is it going to hit? So he hits Force of Will, Swords to Plowshare. So hits the action cards in his hand. So pretty good. Not bad. Although the action cards don't really do much. So he's fetching, and I'm pretty sure he's now shuffling away a Teferi. But yeah, I think Teferi much better. Or no, not such. Narset much better than Teferi in this matchup. Aaron finds another basic island. So it's a second fetch from him. And of course, they don't listen to me, and he plays Narset off. So Jeffrey bouncing island. Okay. Plays the island. Would have preferred if he returns a Tatant mana, but you know, now we're just being nitpicky. Cast Brainstorm. So I think we're putting a Jace back on top, right? Taps 2 mana, plays Baleful Strix. Nice. Oh, there's a Sudden Edict. Aaron Jell's return. It is a Teferi. Not bad. Plays Foil, Onslaught, Flooded Strand. Yep, plays Teferi. There's a Force of Will. Pitching Snapcaster. So I think I'm missing some life points here, right? I think I missed Aaron trying to force. I think Aaron tried to force the him to Torok. Jeffrey dazed back. So I think it should be 17-17. Oh, it doesn't matter. So they are... Yeah, Aaron just conceding. And now we're going to see a sideboard. So bringing in all the blast effects makes sense. I didn't see what Jeffrey was boarding. I don't know what the card on top is. This is why I prefer to like... Maybe I shouldn't play in these events anymore. Because I want to get everything hammered out and I just become a content monster. How's your night going, Nick? Or how's your day? Wednesday? Halfway through the week? Do you get a short week this week or next week? I think most people have... I think all people have the Monday off, right? Because it's a stat holiday. But I know some people also get Friday. Friday have the long weekends off. I know my work, whenever there's like a long weekend and it's a Monday, we get to go home. It's not like a half day, but we get home like 2 hours earlier. You were off today? Nice. Was it by choice or forced? Oh shit, man. I hope everything's okay. Do you have to pay to get an MRI? Yeah, right? I think if it's like specialty care or specialty scans, you have to like pay a ton of money. What's up, Josh? How it be do? Aw, Sick Kids is dope. My home away from home. What happened? Or is that too personal to spread on the internet here? So I assume Aaron gonna be on the play here. Should probably reset these, shouldn't we? 20, 20. Turned out not to be a big deal. That's good. Is he cracking? Nope. Okay, so Scalding Tarn for Aaron. Verdant Catacombs for Jeffrey. Ugh. My friend recently told me he had a cyst removed from his tailbone, and he's been recovering for like almost 3.5 weeks. The life tracker technology. This is a caveman tech, bro. Yeah, sorry. We'll talk about technology instead of the gross cysts, okay? Caveman strong together. Nah, dude. Caveman strong with fire. Give me fire, not like physical activity. Gross. Jeffrey down to 18, fetching again. All right, I think I've lost at this point, and now I'm playing around with the camera. Yeah, my round one was pretty rough. Jeffrey him to Torok, consistently turn 2. So good. How does he do it? Is it all the cantrips he plays? 4? 2 and 1? I don't know. What are the cards? He pitches double Narset? Holy, Jeffrey hits double Narset. Oh my goodness. I am currently not in this game. This is so Jeffrey on the left and Aaron on the right. But yes, in my game, I was sitting on Aaron's side. Jeffrey fetching for the 3rd time, going down to 17. Yeah, see my bag? See my bag? See me pick it up right there? Yeah, I've lost. I lost to Goblins. He played a turn 1 lackey and I conceded. I kept a hand of 2 soul lands, triple Thorn of Amethyst, and double Chalice. And he played Goblin Lackey, and I was like, alright, GG's. Alright. Jeffrey flash in the opposition agent. Very strange, because Aaron's... Actually, was Aaron trying to crack the fetches? Sorry, I will rewind a little bit. So Jeffrey... This is the 3rd fetch from Jeffrey. This is game 2. Jeffrey actually took game 1. Aaron was on a multi-5, and Jeffrey countered Aaron's Teferi with a Baleful Strix on board already, and Aaron decided to scoop him up. So I guess Jeffrey just wants to get a beater in, or he wants to force Aaron to crack both of his Scalding Tarns. Because opposition agent stops Aaron from searching for his lands. Yeah, Jeffrey's found some new confidence in this format. No longer is he afraid. He's gone through the trials and tribulations. He's played combo with Reanimator. He's played Painter, so the mid-rangey combo deck. What else has he played? He's played Control with Pox, and now he's brewed up his own deck, his own control deck with Force of Wills, real by the way, and he is ready. He's ready to go out in the world. He's no longer a sprout. He's a full-on adventurer now. So Aaron fetching for his lands, and then Hull Breachers in response, and now Jeffrey dazing the Hull Breacher. All according to his plan. Yeah, we're gonna fix up the whole camera situation here. Aaron tries to force of will. So Jeffrey force of will's back. So Jeffrey forces, Aaron forces. And this opposition agent, I assume, is about to resolve. And Jeffrey will go to his turn. Plays the Underground Sea that he has returned to his hand from days. Attacks for 3. Wait, opposition agent is 3 mana, or is 3 power, right? I think it is. I think it's a 3/2, right? Oppo. There's a 3/2. Nice. Man, Jeffrey fully in control here. Aaron ponders. Flooded Strand, Fairy Mastermind Teferi. So I think Aaron gonna try to draw this Fairy Mastermind because he doesn't want the Flooded Strand. Jeffrey flashes in second opposition agent. Opposition agent beatdown, swings in for 6. Aaron takes it, goes down to 10. I think end step Fairy Mastermind, this looks like. Aaron not ready to block, which makes sense. Wasting 2 mana to essentially save 3 points of life. 3 points of life doesn't really matter that much at this point in the game. Looks like he's top decked a Prismatic Ending, which can take care of one of the opposition agents. Which comes down right now. Exiles. Exile it. There we go. Noise. Not much happening from Aaron's side. Looks like there's only 2 cards in hand. One of them we know is a Days Undoing, and the other one looks like a Teferi. Teferi kind of subpar here because he bounces the opposition agent and Jeffrey just recasts it. All it really does is draw a card. Okay, Mercurial Spell Dancer from Jeffrey. And the focus is getting much worse. When am I going to come in and fix this? Water Grave. Tapped. I really do hope that I fix the focus. Okay, Aaron plays Flooded Strand. That's a Teferi off the screen. Teferi bouncing the Mercurial Spell Dancer. Jeffrey draws Narset. So he has Narset Days Undoing now. Cast the Narset. I assume it'll resolve. Jeffrey reveals Force of Will, Jace, Baleful Strix, and I think it's a Polluted Delta. Jeffrey takes the Force, just to be safe. Passes the turn. So Aaron draws, I think he has Island Days Undoing in hand. And we are back in focus, everybody. Yay, it only took the entire match. Woo. Yes, I was actually getting like I was kind of sweating there, kind of being like, yo, I'm pretty sure I fixed it by now. What's going on? Did I actually just record an entire night unfocused? Yes, I was actually Monka S. Why is it Monka S? What's the yes, Ben S. Okay, so Jeffrey recast the Mercurial Spellbound Dancer that's bounced by Teferi. Aaron in a very rough position here. Generally, these cards don't do a lot, but man, together are they pretty devastating. I'm kind of thinking maybe I should get like a 2-player mat to make it so that people aren't like they don't have to bring their own, and it tells people like where exactly the cutoff points are and all that pizzazz. I do need a better tripod because the tripod that I have kind of droops a little. So attacking with the Fairy Mastermind, attacking the Narset. Oh, it's a 2-1. Why didn't I say that yesterday? Why didn't I say what yesterday? So Jeffrey using the opposition agent to attack an off-screen Teferi, and the Mercurial Spell Dancer attacking Aaron directly. That I needed a tripod. I've been saying it since I started recording. Why? Did you sell a tripod? Alright, Jeffrey casting Days Undoing with the Narset on board. Aaron has Force of Will, Days Undoing in his own hand. I'll find out tomorrow? What? What am I gonna find out? Aaron casting Force of Will on the Days Undoing. Jeffrey casting his own Force of Will, exiling his other Days Undoing. What was Jeffrey's life points at? Oh no, what were Jeffrey's life points at? We're just gonna say 16. uh, uh, wait, hack. If I go into Twitch really quickly, I can use the clip feature to kind of pseudo rewind. No! No, I don't need videos, I need home. Wait, does someone know? No one's posting. Oh god. Can I clip? I can't. I can. Can I clip? I can clip. Okay, good. Can I? Can I see? Is that 15? What do I have it at now? 16. Okay, so he's at 14. There we go. Oh, it's on the bottom of the screen. Oh, because I started using my phone. Ah, yes, few past Ben, so great. Now we don't need this godforsaken caveman tech. We can get rid of that. Cool. Awesome. If you need something done, you do it yourself. Alright, second Fairy Mastermind. And is that another force? Oh my god, how many Force of Wills are there? And looks like Aaron. Yeah, so I think what Jeffrey's saying is he really wanted to sinkhole and then copy it with the Mercurial Spell Dancer. Yeah, so Jeffrey takes round 1. Nice. Good job, good job. So let's see Dave. Dave has footage, right? Round 1, game 1. Man, his stuff looks super high frame rate. So I don't know what the matchup is here. I also don't know Dave's opponent. I think I see... That's Elves. There's a Pendelhaven in there and a Wirewood symbiote. So, player 2 on Elves, Dave on Lion's Eye Diamond. Doesn't help because he's always playing Storm. Chrome Mox. And that looks like a black card, so we're going to assume Black Saga Storm. So sorry to whoever player 2 is. Not sure your name. Actually, do I still have a picture of the standings? Maybe I can kind of deduce who it is, who it may be. Let me see here. There's a bunch of people I don't know. I think it's Andrew. So I think we have Dave versus Andrew. I don't know. Should I assume that his name is Andrew and just call him Andrew for the rest of the game? Or do I be disrespectful and just call him player 2? Or we'll call him Elves. We'll just call him Elf. Or Elves. So Dave thoughts using Elves. Player 2 until he shows up to stream. Facts. So he takes... I don't even know what card that was. Oh, nice guy. Player 2, nice guy, showing us for the stream. Keeping his hand open. Nice. Those are Guru Forests, too. Alright, so he plays Wooded Foothills. Cracks the Wooded Foothills. So how's it going, guys? Did you guys have big dinner? Wow, searches for a second Dryad Arbor. Does that mean he's drawn Gaia's Cradle? Taps 2 to play his 2 creatures. Pretty sure he's drawn a Gaia's Cradle. Man, foil Future Sight Elf or Dryad Arbors, man. Damn, those are nice. Vault of Whispers from Dave. Very nice. And just passes the turn. Not what you want to be doing with Black Saga Storm. I don't think. Taps 3 mana. Returns a forest to untap. Plays a forest. So he has 3 floating. 4. Natural order. Okay. Ah, so this gets a Crater Hoof. Nice. Oh, yeah, this is what we want to see. This is the Elves. This is combo versus combo. Mono green versus mono black. So I think Dave doing combat math. And picks him up. Wow. I think you could have kept rolling for this one, Dave. Didn't think you needed to cut that off there. But round 1, game 2. So presumably Dave on the play. So kind of hard to see Dave's hand. We can see glimpses of Andrew's, but I don't know Elves well enough to do any sort of game commentary, to be honest. Looks good enough for Andrew, so good enough for us. Dave on the mulligan. I can't do regular math, so I can't do elves math either. Especially if it's combo elves and not fiend artisan elves. Two very interesting and distinct styles of play. But I'm wondering what Dave kept in his first game's opening hand. Because he just went lands, go. Like, I don't know. Like, that. I don't think that's ever where you want to be on game one. Round one, game one. Like, unless you had the Urza Saga or like a really strong turn two, pretty hard to like keep a hand like that. Again, I'm not sure about Black Saga Storm because I don't know. It doesn't seem as fast as Tess, but it definitely is faster than Ant. So we see 3 lands. I don't know what the. Oh, that's an Elvish Visionary. So 2 mana, 1/1 that draws a card. I think you get rid of the Heritage Druid, right? No, maybe Elvish Visionary because it draws him into gas. And now he no longer has 3 elves for Heritage Druid. Because Wirewood Symbiote is an insect. Play Mishra Bauble, play Mox Opal, and pass. Kind of strange. Not gonna lie. Not sure why you need, unless you need to instant speed, use Mox Opal for something. But I don't know what you would need the 1 mana black. Maybe it's like a Fatal Push, just to kind of keep his board clear. It is not, so he's decreased storm count for no reason. Okay, there's a second Vault of Whispers, 2 cards in hand. Now he can crack the bauble to draw an extra card. We have no idea what it is, and he just passes. Dave should be drawing a card. Does Dave draw a card off the bauble? This is a mixed mistrigger. So it looks like Dave is missing a trigger here. He should be up 1 card. That's a big setback because he's effectively done nothing for 2 turns. Unless I've misread the situation and he's, for some reason, cracked the bauble at the beginning of Andrew's upkeep. Dave checking on the camera because he's forgotten a trigger. So Andrew fetching for Dryad Arbor. Dave drawing for turn. Draws off the bauble. Okay. So that might have been misunderstanding when he cracked bauble. So now he's in the tank with 4 cards in hand. Not entirely sure what he can do from here. Looks like Dark Ritual, Infernal Tutor, and 2 other cards. Looks like none of them are Urza Sagas. So it looks like we are going to tap 2 mana for Infernal. Okay. Reveal Dark Ritual. So storm count 1. I guess that's what we can use the text now for, right? We're gonna make it like the most ugly shade we can find. Actually, no, we'll make it purple. Where can we put it? We'll put it down here. Okay, so Dave has Dark Ritual, Storm, and passed the turn, so we no longer need this. Andrew has now cast a Glimpse of Nature and is about to pop the fuck off. Taps 1 for Glimpse of Nature, 1 for Heritage Druid, tapping the Dryad Arbor for Birchlore Rangers, draws a card off the Glimpse of Nature. So Andrew's storm count is now at 2. 3. His storm count is at 3. And now we're going in with the team. No, making 3 mana. Play Elvish Visionary. Draws 2 cards. 1 off Glimpse, 1 off the Visionary. Untaps the Nettle Sentinel. Every time you cast a green spell, you get to untap Nettle Sentinel. Very good with Heritage Druid. So he has 2 elves that are up. If he can use the 1 mana to play another elf, he's got 3 more mana to keep going. He could also tap 2, use Birchlore Rangers to tap down the Elvish Visionary and Nettle Sentinel to generate 1 point of mana if he has an Elvish Visionary in the hand. I do believe that the Boseiju is still in his hand. He uses the Wirewood Symbiote to bounce the Birchlore Rangers back to untap Heritage Druid. Okay, so this is a different line. Recast the Birchlore Rangers. So I think you should have activated the Heritage Druid first to get an extra untap off the Nettle Sentinel. The Nettle Sentinel should be untapped now. Yeah, there we go. So that's 3 more mana, giving him 5 mana. But the only thing that doesn't have Summoning Sickness at this point is Wirewood Symbiote and Nettle Sentinel. That's a 5 mana. Cast Green Sun Zenith for 1. Untaps the Nettle Sentinel. Okay. Does he get another... Oh, he gets a Wirewood Symbiote. Very interesting. Cast the Wirewood Symbiote. So he has to go down 1 mana and draw a card, right? I'm very confused. Why is he not going down on mana and why is he not drawing a card? Oh, because of Green Sun Zenith. Second Glimpse of Nature. So now it draws 3 cards off of this. Taps for 3 mana. Gets a Quirion Ranger, untaps Nettle Sentinel, draws 2 cards. Okay. So now we go down 1 to get an Allosaur Shepherd. Tapping 3 more for 4 mana. Just gonna keep the train going. Draw 3 cards off of Elvish Visionary. So I don't think he can win on this turn unless he can play a Crater Hoof that can attack for 16, right? Tapping for 3 mana. So how many creatures does he have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So how big is Crater Hoof? It's a 5/5, right? So if you can generate enough mana to cast Crater Hoof. Yeah, okay, so I'm not sure on the math or how he gets the Crater Hoof out, but it looks like he just hard cast the Crater Hoof that was in his hand, and he takes it 2 games over Dave. Oh, sorry. I thought Dave was gonna storm off, but the green player started to storm off first, and yeah, we can I thought I got rid of it, but I didn't transition. We didn't transition. Okay. We're gonna take a quick 5-minute break, and then we'll be back with round 2. Alrighty then. Enjoy the Lord of the Rings lo-fi. Wow. Oh man, you couldn't hear it? I have to fix that. Awkward. Very, very awkward. Okay. Where am I? Where am I at? Round 3? Round 2. Okay. So, in this round... In this round, we have Jeffrey again versus Mike. We're already in the middle of game 1. So Mike is currently resolving a Doomsday, I believe. So this is where, when after I was playing around with the settings and everything, I realized that the recording had stopped, and we are kind of in the middle of game 1. So Doomsday is yet another deck where I can't really comment on um, choices and everything, but like the deck has kind of devolved into being this really complex like library of different pathways to win in almost every situation. In any situation, if you can think about all the counterplay that your opponent can do, it's kind of devolved away from that and now is just a Thassa's Oracle deck. So every pathway, almost every pathway, leads to Thassa's Oracle. um Yeah, so I think in this situation, Mike is going for a double Thassa's Oracle play. I think this is his hand currently. I'm not sure the 4 cards on the battlefield. That might be his graveyard. Yeah, it looks like his graveyard because it looks like he goes land, fetch, ponder into... I don't know how the brainstorm gets in there. Maybe this is turn 3? And he just kept a 1-lander. So his current pile is Cavern, Lotus Petal, Cavern, Thassa's Oracle. Um, yeah. So it looks like he's. I'm pretty sure the 4-card pile is his graveyard. He's building his current library and then his hand. Yeah. So it looks like double Street Wraith, Thassa's Oracle, Cavern of Souls into Lotus Petal. So not a terrible pile because he just passes the turn, plays Cavern of Souls to make the Thassa's Oracle uncounterable, and then just cycle, or he keeps the Lotus Petal for days, I think, for a random reason. So he's opting to not get the second Street Wraith. So we see land, Lotus Petal, Street Wraith, Thassa's Oracle. His life is at 9, so he has to be a little careful about the pile. He can't really... It'll if somehow Jeffrey successfully stops him in some way. Um yeah. But he has like a huge grip of cards in his hand, so I don't know what he would be too worried about. So all those cards are now exiled. Jeffrey draws Jace the Mind Sculptor, which is not where you want to be in this format. Or not format, in this round. Wasteland the Underground Sea. Alright. Keeping the 2-lander pile is looking pretty good here. So I think they are still using my phone. Yeah, they're still using my phone as life points. So I think Mike has just opted to draw pass. Alright, down comes Narset. We're gonna force of will that because he needs to decrease his library somehow. Jeffrey swinging in for 2. Mike draws. And does he have the win here? He does not. Jeffrey draws Sudden Edicts. And what's he thinking about doing here? I think this is a misplay. I think he wanted to save the Sudden Edict. Or save mana for the Sudden Edict. So he Fate Seals him. And attacks for 2. Puts Mike down to 2. And I think Mike has the win now. Right? Lotus Petal. Cavern of Souls. Make it uncounterable. Cast Thassa's Oracle. He has 2 cards left in his deck. So if he kept mana for the Sudden Edict, I think Jeffrey would have won. Because I don't think Mike had a way to Thassa's Oracle again. Playing the Jace was very, quite greedy, right? Like, you have your opponent dead on board, and... What was I thinking? Jeffrey has him dead on board with 2 damage, and then Mike has no way of casting the second Oracle. So that was an unfortunate misplay. So this deck is quite crazy. Not sure exactly how it sideboards. Jeffrey should be bringing in Force of Negations. Maybe Hull Breacher. Hull Breacher isn't terrible. Opposition agents are fantastic, right? I think the way Doomsday is worded. Let's double check. How is Doomsday worded? Search your library. Yeah. So Jeffrey could pick 5 lands and just watch him suffer. Might be fully aware of this control play pattern that Jeffrey likes to play. Not entirely sure because he does not. He comes to the stores semi frequently, so I wouldn't say he's a regular exactly, but he's like a semi regular. But yeah, I think. I'm not sure. So, I think I saw if this pile down here is the pile Mike is boarding in. I think I saw a Shieldred, so he could be on the Shieldred beatdown plan. A lot of Doomsday decks nowadays are siding into Murktide Regents and Shieldreds in the board, so that they can switch into more of a mid-rangey beatdown plan instead of a Doomsday combo. Because people are starting to realize that Opposition Agent is a really good card. I actually thought that when it first came out, that it was gonna destroy, absolutely ravage the format, because the format is known for brainstorm fetch land. 2 cards that say search your library. And there's just a lot of fetching in general. But little did we know that Hull Breacher broke Commander instead, which is also nuts. I mean, I also thought Hull Breacher was extremely good, also in Legacy. Although they're 3 mana cards, this deck or this format has soul lands, so they're turn 2 plays. If you want to build your deck in that fashion, but Yeah, if someone brainstorms, ponders, like anything, and you flash in a hull breacher, not only like for their brainstorm, not only do they not draw 3 cards, they actually just have to put 2 cards back from their hand. So not only did they not cantrip, you also basically stripped 2 cards from their hand, and they're probably 2 awful cards because they were trying to brainstorm anyway. Yeah, those 2 3 drops are like actually very insane, but they must be timed correctly. I kind of like Jeffrey's deck. Jeffrey's deck is what I was looking to build, but with like, so instead of Baleful Strixes, it is like Hull Breachers, Opposition Agents, Shieldred, and like Monastery Mentor with my own cantrips. But this might be actually better. If I don't have to play the Monastery Mentor package, we can play Baleful Strix instead as our like another cantrip. And we just play the mid-range plan. Because it does block better than Monastery Mentor. But Monastery Mentor can like close out the game very quickly. All right. So Jeffrey on a mulligan to 6, I believe. Mike showing off his hand jutsus. I think those hand sizes were for victory. Okay. So too many cards to look at here. Jeffrey looking to pitch a Daze, maybe a Narset. Not sure what he pitches. But he will say fetch land go. Oh, Underground Sea, Thoughtseize? Brainstorm. Okay. What is he whispering? So Mercurial Spelldancer, Surgical Extraction, and I think Island are his brainstorm draws. Putting Narset Surgical. So putting Narset Island on top and passing the turn. Not sure why this is necessary. Not sure why you needed to brainstorm there. I don't know. You could have like left up Underground Sea, bluffed Spell Pierce. Ponder from the Doomsday. Dark Ritual. Brainstorm. Shieldred. That is big. Big, big, big. So he puts Dark Ritual on top, draws Dark Ritual, and passes. There's the island that Jeffrey puts on top, and a Mercurial Spelldancer. So Jeffrey looking to be the tempo player here. Mike draws the Shieldreds that we see him keep with the Ponder. Probably searching for what? Swamp? So we're gonna play a Shieldred here and just watch Jeffrey lose tons of life. Yep, there's a Shieldred. Tries to daze. And we're gonna daze in return. And then we daze again. And Shieldred gets countered? Interesting. Very good, very good. Jeffrey plays Island. Has 2 counters from both dazes. Attacks for 2. Alright, Island. Pass. So that's a Watery Grave. Play Underground Sea. Attack for 2. Pass the turn. Now Mike has his own opposition agent. Jeffrey draws Brainstorm. Shocks. Plays Narset. So I think this is where Mike kind of wants to... Actually, he doesn't need to do anything. He has an opposition agent in hand. Alright. Fetches in response. But the Mercurial Spell Dancer is unblockable. But I don't think it matters in any way, because if Jeffrey ticks down, the opposition agent just kills Narset. Okay, Dark Ritual. Hardcast Force of Will. Force of Will in response, and Mike picks it up. Jeffrey is successfully defending that with premier play. Nice. Pogo. What is Jeffrey doing? I don't like what he's doing. Stop that. Stop doing that. Just pick up. Just do normal, man. It's actually disgusting to me that Mike is using a Tendrils of Agony playmat. This is Tendrils of Agony, right? I think it's the Mystical Archive Tendrils of Agony. Gatherer. So Mike opting not to make any team changes to his deck. And I don't think Jeffrey is changing anything either. How do I see the Japanese version of Tendrils? Gatherer is trash, dude. Oh my gosh. Yeah, okay, so I'm pretty sure this is Tendrils of Agony. I don't know how he's not playing a Tendrils of Agony deck. That's upsetting to me. I guess it's a psych out. The way he plays his deck is very similar to Ad Nauseam Tendrils. So people could be like, oh, he's playing Ad Nauseam Tendrils, and then all of a sudden he goes Doomsday, and they're like, oh shit. Now we actually lose. Turn 1 Brainstorm. Draws Dark Ritual, draws Force of Will, draws Shieldred. So is this another turn 4 or turn 2 Shieldred? But now this Force of Will has nothing to exile for free for a free backup counterspell. Jeffrey cracking Marsh Flats. I assume for an Underground Sea. And is this Ponder from Jeffrey? Nope, it is another Brainstorm. So Jace Island. Not sure what the first card you drew was. Yeah, so we're putting Jace on top. Jace and unknown card on top. So this is where we see turn 2 Shieldred, right? Oh, no. Playing safe. So I think he takes the Force of Will, right? Yeah, see, this is why I'm not a huge fan of like turn 1 Brainstorm if you're not doing anything. Like, sure, it digs you 1 card deeper, but like beyond that, especially if you're playing against a deck that has the possibility of hand disruption. Dark Ritual, Cabal Ritual, Shieldred. Nice. So Jeffrey will draw a card, lose 2 life from the Shieldred trigger. Down comes Underground Sea. Plays a Spell Dancer. Now Jeffrey just needs to draw an Edict here. So his life total doesn't change because he is cycling Street Wraith, which is pay 2 to draw a card. Then whenever he draws a card, he gains 2 life. Jeffrey losing another 2 from the Shieldred trigger. Plays a land. Attacks for 2. Mike tried to convince him to play this Days Undoing to kill him. Draws. Gains 2 life. Plays Ponder. We'll gain another 2 life after this resolves. Alright, draws Thoughtseize. Play Thoughtseize. Gonna try and protect the Shieldred here. Yep. So we take the Jace out of the hand. Lose a bunch more life, and I'm pretty sure their writing is on the wall. Jeffrey casting Days Undoing to -14 himself. Alright, so Mike takes it over. So Doomsday over blue-black control. We'll go on to round 2 footage for Dave. Excuse me. Okay. So this is Hootie on 8 casts. Not sure who he's playing against here. But there's a Baleful Strix in hand, Flooded Strand, and Polluted Delta, and a Thoughtseize. And Hootie on 8 cast with Thought Monitor, Thought Cast, and other artifacts in play, presumably. Bug Death Shadow. Okay. Not bad. Very interesting. Haven't seen a bug, like a Sultai Shadow list in a while. I don't know. What does green offer? Like, are you afraid of like other black decks for like Veil of Summer? Are you afraid of like Reanimators so you can play like Endurances or something? I don't see the value that green brings you. Like, I guess you get Carpet of Flowers out of the board if you are afraid of other blue decks. Yeah, but does the deck really need Sylvan Library? You're just adding cards that you just want to play, I guess. So here's a turn 1 Emery from Hootie. Mills, Shadow Spear, Thought Monitor, Urza's Saga, Urza's Bauble. I guess the Sylvan Library is pretty good because if your health total is quite high, you can just Sylvan Library yourself. Alright, so this is a clear-cut sign that he is playing Death Shadow because he's fetching for Watergrave. And there's a Thoughtseize. Take Chalice. Oh, that's true. He has an Emery on board. That's a bad call. So now Hootie just drawing a bunch of cards. We see Force of Will on the top. I think you cracked the other bauble, right? There's no reason not to. So there is a way to do this. Like, I kind of hate when he shows me what he saw. I'm not supposed to know what he saw. So Hootie drawing Chalice, Aether Spellbomb, Force of Will. Not a great position here, as he does not have a second source of mana. So Emery tapping probably for a bauble. Yeah, another Mishra's Bubble. And then tap for Aether Spellbomb. Makes sense. Crack the bubble now. And then we pass the turn. So I think we saw the Force of Will twice, right? Yeah. That's another interesting play. I guess he wants to draw on Siraj's turn. So there's a breeding pool. Not sure. Is that the Sylvan Library? Looks like it's a Sylvan Library with the dice on the top. Alright, 2 mana. We're going to try to cast a Chalice here. in the face of the Force of Will. Getting Shadow Spear. Not sure why we want the Shadow here. I'm really confused. So in this play here, so if this is Sylvan's Library, you want to kind of land the Chalice so all the cards that he's drawing become redundant. If you Chalice, it gets forced. You can use Emery to try to cast Chalice again. So I'm not sure the reason why you would need to cast the Shadow Spear here. His reasoning he gave me for playing Sylvan Library is if he falls behind, it gets him out of the hole. That's true. The Sylvan Library does help tempo decks because you see so many more cards. I don't think Sylvan Library is enough to give you into like I would need to know the sideboard options because obviously the sideboard options are what are the like probably the driving factor of what I'm getting because the core of Blue Black Shadow is just so streamlined already. You would need a really good reason out of the board to like add the third color, which is like Force of Vigors, Collector Oofs, Carpet of Flowers, Veil of Summers. Like green gives you like a huge variety of like sideboard options. Yeah, you also get like endurances, but the problem with endurance is like you're already a Force of Will deck. You don't want to rely on endurance when you're just splashing green because you're most likely not going to have the second green in hand, right? He does have oof. Didn't see it. Yeah, so like those are the reasons why he's probably playing green. There's another Chalice. Yep, Emery tries to cast Bauble, reveals Death Shadow. Yep. So from the Sylvan Library, we see another Wasteland, Uro, and Date. Oh, Uro's a big one. Yeah, I'm kind of liking this now. Uro is just so good. Like if they think that like yeah, because a lot like what I've seen a lot of people do is once they get rid of one shadow, they surgical it and they think that they're the only other threat that they have to deal with is Murktide. And usually in that situation, you kind of yeah. The land doesn't seem super relevant. Um the land yeah, that's true. The land doesn't seem super relevant. It's banned in modern, you can play modern. The land is relevant when you're on the plan of let's just waste land constantly. So the land does come into play. Whether or not I played this in chat, like okay, so I'm on this kick right now where Timur Delver is actually quite good because you can also play Uro, and I think I like that as an Uro tempo strategy rather than this. I think Goyf is awful. I think Goyf should never be played anymore. It is an irrelevant relic of the past. It doesn't do at all what you want it to do. And all your options now are just infinitely better. Earl looks shit in this? Yeah, but it gives you more play against different variety, like different decks. It's also one less pip that Prismatic Vista has to deal with, or Prismatic Ending. Like I don't disagree. Like I think this deck would be completely like better without green. I think the blue black version is just so streamlined that it doesn't need this. But I think like if you were to play green in a temple style deck, I'm sure Delver would be a better fit for it. Like I saw a couple 5-0 or a few 5-0 teamer Delver lists that are playing Tarmogoyfs, and I think that's bad. I would rather play something like Ledger Shredder. Maybe Uro is needed as both a green/blue card if he does have endurance out of the board. Yeah, but are you telling me that you really pitch an Uro to an endurance? Would you not rather just like have another blue card and use Force of Will? Like Force of Wills and Force of Negations? I highly doubt that if he is playing endurances for those kinds of matchups, that like Force of Negation is worse than endurance. Like the only matchup that it would probably matter in is like Elves, and that's because Force of Negation can't hit creature spells. It's more that it's a threat that it can be used both for free spells. Yeah, but you don't need the threat when you're like when you're controlling everything already, right? Or just have like an extra removal spell. Like if you're pitching your threat, then it's not really a threat, right? And if you don't need it, like if you're like if it's in there to be pitched, then sure, right? Like I guess like my point is we're making up all of these excuses to play a card that doesn't need to be in the deck because the color is irrelevant. Yeah. Okay, another thing is like it's a locals, right? He could just really love Uro and Death Shadow and he wants to play them both in the same deck, right? That's perfectly reasonable. You like the reanimate pieces in blue black? You can play it more aggressively on the control matchups to hopefully force the life total faster and hit the Atraxas and Gristles. Yeah, like you could try to snake someone's um spell or reanimate target, but that's only against like one or two matchups. Like Secret Show will almost never dump those cards into the bin, so kind of irrelevant in that matchup. But yeah, you can probably snake if they're like I don't know why they would ever put a threat into the board and leave it there. It's quite vulnerable, especially against like a force deck, because every deck will run surgicals. If there's a way to swing from blue black, it was for DRCs. Yep, DRCs are lightning bolts. No, DRCs are meltdown. Meltdown is a crazy sideboard card. Or if you wanted like more game against blue decks, you can put in your blast effects. I don't know. Red and green have such good sideboards. But again, the only like this it's so hard to splash into another color unless you really love that color, right? Like if I were to play in a 3K, there's no way I'm adding a third color to Blue Black Shadow because it's so streamlined. Like you have all the counter spells, you have bounce effects, and if like the bounce effects aren't good enough, you have black as your kill cards or like permanent removal. Like it's already so good. You have main board disruption against combo decks with Thoughtseize. Oh, I guess you get abrupt decay in this. That's pretty good. All right, Death Shadow crashing in. Collector Oof. There we go. Not a lot of artifacts on Hootie's side, but So we're flashing in this random 1 mana bounce spell that gets dazed, but he uses the extra mana to get around the daze. There's a construct from Hootie's side, which is now a 3/3, becoming a 4/4. So the glare card right now is a Death Shadow. So yeah. 2 cards in hand. One of them is a breeding pool that we saw Siraj pick up from the days. Down comes Soul Guide Lantern, exiling Brainstorm. There's a Seat of the Synod for Hootie. Play another Mishra's Bauble. And then, do we have enough mana for Kappa? We do, but we're not doing it. I think we want the blocker for the Death Shadow. Abrupt Decay the Construct. And now we're attacking in. For 7? Yeah, it looks like 7. And we are going to game 2. Right? Or game 3? I think this is game 3. Pretty good. When a card says uncounterable on it, it's a good reason for playing it. So that's another plus side for having green is you get Abrupt Decay. I guess if you're in a non-blue heavy meta, you can also get Assassin's Trophies. I guess another thing you could do is like Life from the Loam, but you don't really need that. Reminder, the game ends abruptly in game 3. Alright, so this is where the hiccup went. So that means no hiccups in round 3 then, right? How's your day going, Dave? Wow, that was a really weird tongue twister mouthful. What everybody have for big dinner? Help me influence the choice that I want that I'll have for big dinner. Maybe I'll go out to eat for tonight. I don't have any meetings tomorrow morning, so I can kind of sleep in a little longer. So I get to eat something. Whoa, Korean barbecue pork, fried pasta with what? Dude, that sounds so good. Oh, that sounds delicious. Hit you up if you game. This is the clown car. Hootie's signature. I think he's casting it for 0, right? Thoughtcast. Alright, counter it. Nice. Soda time? Hey! Pinky's up. Woo! Alright, turn 1 was Wasteland. The Seat of the Synod for again to Suraj. Hootie plays Thought Monitor to draw 2 cards. Plays another bauble. Starts cracking them all. We don't get to see what's on top for that one. Both of them draw the cards. Play Underground Sea and passes the turn. Hootie draws, we see Force of Will in hand. And the third Mishra's Bauble. Attack for 2. So we have, I think, Otawara and Force of Will in hand for Hootie. So Hootie cracking these baubles to try and find a second blue card just to counter anything that's a threat. Alright. Flooded Strand pass for Suraj. Suraj kind of biding his time here. Looks like he's gonna end of turn Brainstorm and fetch his garbage cards away. Hootie tapping for 2. Plays Shadow Spear. Start regaining some of that life back from the Ancient Tomb. Plays Otawara. Thought Monitor. Cast Brainstorm in response. So pitches 2 cards away. Daze. Cracks the pedal to pay for the daze. Hootie gets to draw 2 more cards from the Thought Monitor resolving. Hootie crack another one to draw another card. Alright, so Hootie cracks in for 2 with the Thought Monitor again. Siraj not cracking the fetch land, so wants to keep the 2 cards he put on top with the Brainstorm. Fetching 1, so he loses one of them. Grabs an island. Not sure why island specifically, and why not just another Underground Sea. Siraj casting Baleful Strix as a blocker. Not a bad choice. So I think because we're playing so fast, Hootie missed the trigger on one of the baubles. I think I think that's what was going on there. Down comes Sai. Someone should really invest into a pop socket there. Plays Urz's Bauble, makes a Thopter token. Now we're playing a Thopter Tribal. And now, is he willing to sacrifice one of these Thought Monitors? So he's going to crew the Clown Car. Does that do anything? Like, I don't even know what Clown Car's stats are. So he reveals Death Shadow. Siraj goes to his turn. They both draw a card. Siraj playing Polluted Delta and cracking it for an Underground Sea. Playing Death Shadow. Nice. So they're both 1/1s at the moment. Urza Saga down for Hootie. Mox Opal. I have no idea. Right now, I'm very influenced by Korean cuisine. No idea what Dave and Stefan ate for dinner. Oh my god, his tokens are not matching. It's actually triggering me. I don't know what they're talking about. Hootie contemplating on equipping with the Shadow Spear. Attacks for 2. Trying to bait out this Baleful Strikes. Not working. So Hootie has Force of Will that he's been holding on to for quite a long time. Siraj casts a Ponder, revealing Wasteland, Daze. Not sure what the third card was. So get the Wasteland, Wasteland the Urza Saga maybe? So attacking for 3. Gonna see if Hootie's gonna block with anything. So he's gonna block with this Clown car. Go to damage. Blow up the Urza Saga. Play a third Death Shadow. Alright. Hootie quickly losing gas here. Hasn't drawn artifacts or a way to repeatedly play artifacts from the side. Kind of burnt all of his card draw very early, which weakens Sai in the late game, mid to late game. Chalice comes down much too late. Death Shadows have already been deployed. This is a rough spot. So holding up all these Thopters, most likely to block the Death Shadows. Suraj tries to cast Ponder, gets countered by the Chalice. Shocks Watergrave and should just start swinging, right? I guess he does have to be like very careful because he he can't block Thopters anyway, so he should be trying to threaten life totals to try and get decrease the amount of Thopters that Hootie has. So Hootie gonna block 2 Death Shadows, sacrifice both, and draw a card from Sai. Takes 5 damage from 1 Death Shadow. Hootie draws for turn. Urza Saga, that's big. So is there a source of card advantage that Hootie can get to start generating Thopters? Like an Emery a few turns ago would have been total gas. Because you can block the Death Shadows with these Thought Monitors and just bring them back to start recasting them and everything. But unfortunately, we haven't had that luck on our side. Maybe I'll just make something out of my freezer. If you guys want to play games, save some time. Alright, attacking with the Death Shadows once again. Willing to take another 5, I think. Sai activation. Yep, this is Sai activation. Draws a Seed of the Synod. Plays a bounce spell for the one that went unblocked. Siraj just passes the turn. Not willing to play the Death Shadow again. Not sure why. Plays Seed of the Synod. Top Opal for mana. Cast Opal, get a trigger, get a Thopter. Nice. So he has 1 floating mana. Do you put it into a construct? If he puts it into a construct, he can still equip the Shadow Spear. So there's an Ancient Tomb in Hootie's hand. So it's Ancient Tomb, Force of Will. So that's quite unfortunate. So he is making a construct. Yeah, and then I think we're going to equip to the construct. Yep. Nice. This thing's huge, right? 2, 4, 6, 7. So it's an 8/8 with the +1/+1 from the Shadow Spear. His Death Shadows are only 5/5s. Baleful Strix holding down the fort. So now Chalice is doing in work, right? Ah, that's why he can't play the Death Shadow again, because I forgot about Chalice. Alright, so we're making a second construct here. So now his construct is a 9/9 and an 8/8. Going to be 10/10 and 9/9. So, right? Am I right? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah. So we have a 10/10 and a 9/9. Ah, we saw a Crucible from Hootie for the grindy matchup. Just in case. There's also dismembers in there. So I get another Mishra's Bauble. That's an extra draw. There's another Mox Opal. Get another Thopter. So now this game is completely turned. Hootie now in the full driver's seat. Man, maybe this one mana blue spell, like bounce spell, is like really strong. That's pretty crazy. So you have a 10/10 and a 9/9, right? Oh no, it changes because of his Thopters. So 3, 6, 9, 10. Oh, and it abruptly cuts. Do we know who won? I think they both went X1 in the end, so I'm not sure who actually wins that matchup. This is kind of awkward. Let me see if I can see the standings. So they both end up going X1, so I don't know who actually won that matchup. Yeah, I'm thinking from the position it was Hootie, but we never know, right? We're just gonna say Hootie won that matchup. All right. So I'm gonna do a quick 7, maybe 7 minute break. I have to go feed the pupper. All right, we'll be back.
Nine rings were gifted to the race of men, who above all else desire power.
Of course you are, Sam. But I'm coming with you! Sam! Sam! Alright, I was really feeling it. Alright, round 3. We'll do this one. Who is this? Oh. We'll do this one first. Where's the screen transition? This one. All right, there we go. So we have Max, who's player 1 over here, and then we have Mike and Max, and Mike. So Max, player 1, Mike, player 2. Max is on Mono Red Goblins or Black Rakdos Goblins, and Mike on Doomsday, as we've seen already. So, Covenant of Souls naming Eldrazi casting Goblin Lackey. I'm joking. It is on Goblins. There is turn 1 personal tutor. So already turn 1's given away what decks they are playing. That is a foil Junji Ito Doomsday. Alright. Now Max attacks with the Goblin Lackey. Presumably takes 1, deals damage, brings in Goblin Ringleader. So reveal the top 4, add all goblins to the hand, I guess. Alright, casting Aether Vial. Draw Doomsday. Swamp into Doomsday. I'm wondering what he's trying to calculate, what goblins could have to disrupt him. Could he not go for game this turn? If he uses... Oh, maybe he doesn't have... He does have Dark Ritual. Ooh, I don't know if I would use Underground Sea, though. Oh, no, that's Duress. Duress hits nothing, because they're all creatures. Right? I think one is Goblin... It's a Goblin King? I have no idea what the middle Goblin is. Alright, there's a Dark Ritual into Doomsday. So I guess he was just being extra safe here. Like, I don't think there's anything in the main deck of a Rakdos Goblins list that would ever be able to interrupt Doomsday. So I think if he wanted to, he could have gone Swamp, Swamp, Dark Ritual into Doomsday. Have the second blue. What else? I'm wondering what else does he have in his hand? Is it Cavern? If he had like a draw spell in his hand, he could definitely win. If not this turn, then the next turn. Because I don't think Max has any, like, lords yet, right? So this is what I mean by, like, Doomsday is kind of a simplified deck now. Every pile is a Thassa's Oracle pile, and there's nothing else. The issue with that is you have to win with Thassa's Oracle, so your deck has to be small. Which is also a huge problem sometimes. So yeah, just letting him sift through the deck to see if there's any surprises. I'm sure most things are surprises to people until they actually see the Doomsday list. But it seems like a pretty standard stock blue-black cantrippy combo deck. So Uptick Vial. That is now Mike's deck. Mountain. Are we playing a Lord here? Crack the Bloodstained Mire. I actually don't know what goblin this is. The artwork is too old for me to recognize. The second word is too short to be war boss or I don't even know what the goblin lord names are. I want to know what card this is. Is it Goblin Matron because he tutored a goblin? I don't think it's Ringmaster. The word is too short to be Ringmaster. I think it might be Goblin Matron. Let's see. Goblin Matron. Well, first we have to spell goblin right. Yes. It is Goblin Matron. That is the card we saw, right? Kind of looks like it. Yeah, not a lord. Wait, who won? What happened? I'm assuming that Max won. Excuse me. And then this is Sling Gang Commander. Yeah, I think it's Sling Gang. All right. Well, that was a quick game one. I suspect that these will be quick games because one's a combo deck and one is just a straight up aggro deck. Can the aggro deck just put in the beats? Mummyo! Gobby Mummy. Alright, turn one Brainstorm. There's a Shieldred in hand. Not sure. Does this mean the Shieldred is in the main board? Maybe he puts it in as a blocker? Like an early game blocker? Decides to put it second from the top. So down comes Mountain into Goblin Lackey. There's a Daze. Very, very good. Classic blue versus red. I'm going to put out a very aggressive creature, and I'm going to counter it. There's a Ponder. Shieldred, Island, Force of Will. So let's draw this Force of Will. Is what Max is... No, Mike is thinking. No, draw land. Yeah, so he chooses to draw the island. I don't know where we are right now. Is it Max thinking? Yeah. All right. Rishadan Port. Wow. I like this. Let's go Goblins. Woo. Island. Pass the turn. Yeah. Port 'em, baby. Counter Souls naming Changeling. I don't think you can do that actually. Goblin Lackey. Uncounterable this time. Nice Daze. Tap down the Underground Sea. Yeah, port him. Cycle Street Wraith in response. See if he can use this blue mana. I don't think he can. Blue or black mana, sorry. So he draws for turn. There's a Thassa's Oracle off the top. Man, Mike is very good at drawing Thassa's Oracle, eh? Means a lot of piles probably don't need the Oracle. See Bloodstained Mire. Goblin Lackey getting in, doing work. Hometown Rushdown. Mommy Gobby. Gobby Mommy again. What are we searching for this time? Is there Siege Gang Commander? I don't think that's relevant here, though. I don't think blue is the thing you want to have protection from. I have no idea what card this is. Hey, Mike, can you show the camera as well? No idea what card this is. Is it like some sort of hand disruption? What does this card do? I'm so curious. There's so many lines of text on that thing. I'm wondering if half of it is flavor text. Fetching Badlands? Casting it? Earwig Squad. What? Earwig Squad. I've defaced so many of this card. Is this card actually good? Earwig Squad. Prowl. The Earwig Squad enters the battlefield. If its Prowl cost was paid, search target opponent library for 3 cards in exile. Wow! So he's exiling Doomsdays? I'm assuming he's exiling Doomsdays, right? Oh, exile Oracle? That's true. Because they're the win condition. I guess you could go for either or, right? So you can exile any 3 cards. They don't have to be the same. Damn. So he exiles Oracle. No, Oracle, Doomsday. Should be 4 Doomsdays. Wow, Earwig Squad. Hot damn, that is some spicy meatball. Yeah, it couldn't get ported this time. Now you lose. Dark Ritual. Doomsday! The one in hand! Oh, it's a Shieldred. Lame. Boring. I thought we were gonna win the game there. But man, I have de-inked so many like FNM or Game Day promo Earwig squads because back in the day, Lorwyn had the weird like cool wavy foil effect in their promos, used to turn them into sick proxy magic cards. Defaced magic cards that made them cooler. All right, what are we gonna do here, Max? So we are attacking with the Earwig squad. Is there like some kind of evasion on it? Wait, how big is Earwig squad? Wait, what? How come we took so much damage? It's like 5 damage? Holy shit, this thing is a 5/3. Oh my god. Oh, I guess because it doesn't it only costs because of the prowl cost. Wow. Earwig squad. I'm actually shocked. He's porting. I don't know. Oh, opposition agent. Excuse me. So, in response to the Rishid port, we Cabal Ritual for 3 mana into the opposition agent. Man, Rishon Import, so good. Man, I'm really liking this Goblins deck. I thought it was like aggro, 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 but it's got some utility. Rishon Import, Earwig Squad. It's got Gobby Mummies to find whatever it needs. That's pretty good. Alright. We'll block. I guess it's more likely to see a mid-range deck, but I've always seen the combo version. That's a Goblin Ringleader. Another Goblin Matron. And a Goblin Warchief. Now we're bringing out the Horde. Oh, for the Horde! So we still have the Shieldred there. Gonna tap 1 to Brainstorm. Gain 6 life. Pretty good! 1 mana, draw a card, or cycle 1 card and get to gain 8 life. Against the Goblins deck, doesn't seem that bad. Seems pretty good. Putting 2 on top. Scalding Tarn. Lotus Petal. So Mike is in a position where he was in a position where it was getting like pretty dangerous, but now with the Shieldred, if he keeps cantripping, he's extending his life for quite a long period of time. I'm wondering if there's a way for him to get through this. Or if he ends up just trying to combo off. Or if he just wins accidentally through like kind of like random pieces. There's a Brainstorm and an Underground Sea, so I think he puts the Underground Sea on the bottom. Max should have taken 2, right? Did he take 2? He's taking 2 now. I see. Because it was End Step Vial. I don't know what card he vialed in, by the way. I had no idea what that is. Alright. Wasteland. Love it. Love it. Prospector? What is Prospector? Alright. I've never seen your name before. I don't want to try to pronounce it. But I'm just gonna call you Blink 182. Dora Gon Dora Gon Crow Dora Gon Crow Durag on Crow 182. Yeah, what up, Durag? How's it going? Isn't that what isn't that similar to no, Jump Palm Incinerator is cycling. Oh wait, Goblin Prospector. Is that not originally printed in a core set? Is the anime pronounced of Dragon Crow? Oh, I don't know if that's offensive or the moment I saw anime, I was like, oh, Dragon Crow. Doragon. Is that a is that offensive? All right, yeah, not looking good here for Mike. sorry. I don't know what the enemy is. God damn, Durag, what are you trying to do here? No, nothing was exposed. I don't know what enemy is, or enime, or enime. I don't know what enime is, and I don't know who this Durag guy is. Shh. We're trying to watch Legacy here. What are you guys trying to do to me? I don't even know what's going on. How did the Shieldred die? Is that a Marvel show? What's Marvel? I only know Marvel. I only know the Marvelous Miss Maisie. Or Maisie, Dr. Maisie Marvel. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. Alright, here goes another Shieldred. Shieldred number 2. I don't only know anime. Shush! Do you not see the background? There's board games there. We don't do anime here. No anime. There's records over here, so we're the white mans. Alrighty then. Is it Goblin Prospector or Skirk Prospector? Are they two different cards that do the same thing? Do I call Azorius Uwu Control? No. No, I don't. I call it garbage. Gross. Ew. Grand Arbiter Augustin. Gross. Puke. We love that commander. He stacks. And I love stacks. Are they both Skirk Okay, so they're both Skirk Prospector. I didn't know that it was originally printed old frame in the Onslaught. Uh-oh. Excuse me. Avoiding what question? I don't see any questions. That's another Goblin Ringleader. This is kind of getting a little out of control. I really hope that there's a Doomsday in this deck of some sort. Not Doomsday, Damnation. Is that card even worth playing? How did we get on the topic of me, man? Hey, we're watching Legacy here. Shh, quiet it down there. Oh no, he's counting. What are we counting? Oh yeah, Plague Engineer. I forgot that card existed. Actually, Plague Engineer would be really good in this metagame. We saw Elves, 2 Elves decks earlier, and now a Goblins deck. Man, Mike at 29. Port is taking out an Underground Sea. There's a Ponder, getting 2 more life. I'm not gonna lie, I don't know how much power Max has on board here with his Goblin army. Do I have a Grave Titan? Not anymore. I have no cards that are not Legacy related and in Commander. I have like completely sold all of my Commander cards. The only Commander cards I have that are not related to Legacy is an original Mana Crypt. And I guess, like, foil Arena Promo Karn. But that's just because it's an artifact and it's foil and old border. Yes, math is definitely for blockers. Unless it's Arcbind Ravager. Then it's definitely for blockers. You think Grave Titan is a better swap-in than Atraxa? Hey Nick, I'm never gonna own a Grave Titan again. Okay, so there's a Slinging Commander. Pretty sure that's Slinging Commander. These are some nice Goblin tokens. I really like this. I think this is a custom one, right? This one here, down here. Looks like a custom Goblin token. I really like that one. Then there's the classic Unhinged. Nice. For the Caracas matchup, since Archon doesn't do a whole lot with the ETB, what do you mean? It's 9-point life swings, but that makes them discard a card, and you draw a card and gain 3 life. If you're saying that that's not enough, I think you're reading it wrong. All right, so we're going in. We're going all in. How many lords do we have on the board here? 2 chiefs, 2 war chiefs. Oh, excuse me. 6-point life swing. I think you're counting wrong. Archon is a 6. It's a 12-point life swing. Because Archon is a 6/6. It drains 3 every time it attacks. That's if it attacks. Saying on ETB? Yeah, but if it attacks, it's way more impactful than a Grave Titan. You make 2 zombies? I guess... No, because on ETB, Grave Titan makes... What? 10 power? Whereas Archon ETBs instantly gives you 3. But then on swing, you're basically effectively doing 12 damage. Whereas Grave Titan still requires you to only be doing 10 damage. Yeah, this is not looking great for Mike here. Although Max is at 7. Does the Shieldred die? For things like control matchups and D&T? But you don't want Archon in those matchups. You'd much rather have Atraxa, right? Like, Atraxa's there for the life gain, primarily. It's also a good way to block and attack at the same time. Grave Titan is, like, pseudo-effective. It doesn't have flying, that's the issue. You want your stuff to be evasive. Alright, there's a Muxus. Cycle Straight Wraith. Just play Sire of Insanity. That will show those pesky control players. The problem with Sire is that you effectively lose your hand as well. Like, you might as well just disrupt your opponent while also keeping control with your hand. Or just continuing to play larger things. Yep, there's the hand. So Mike takes... Max, sorry. Max takes it in 2. That was pretty interesting. There was a lot of cards that I don't know here. And it's a lot of combat math to calculate through. But we will go on to the last round. Hopefully we can finish it in 20 minutes. It is a long match. Oh boy. So I think this matchup is... This is Jeffrey versus Claudio. So if Claudio is on the same deck, so Claudio is on player 2 side. He is on the same deck. We see the boo. So he is on Hot Bants 4 color control. And Jeffrey, we saw earlier, playing blue-black control. So this we're going to need the life counters because both of them clearly didn't listen to me. Where is it? Aha! So we change this from Storm to 2020. Then we can change the color. Just change it to this for now. And hopefully it doesn't get in the way down here. That. Cool. Yeah, I think with this new suite that Modern Horizons 2 gave us, like Sarah's Emissary, Archons, and Griefs, you don't really need the old Reanimator package of um what is the black white creature, the thing that exiles a permanent on ETB and death. Okay, I'm just gonna say it outright. Um, Grave Titan is a terrible card in Legacy. I'm just gonna put it out there. It's not going in the deck. But yeah, Ashen Rider. Ashen Rider. So Ashen Rider, Tidespell Tyrant, and what's the last? The Sire of Insanity. I think those are the three utility creatures aside from Iona that Reanimator used to run. But now you don't really need that suite because Archon, Atraxa, and what's it called? Sarah. Even Sarah's Emissary has been starting to get cut from lists. I think because a lot of decks have learned to diversify their threats and win on multiple axes, that it doesn't really see much play anymore. I think a lot of more people have been moving back towards Chancellor of the Annex decks too, just because um initiative is gone down in terms of popularity, so soul land decks are not as prevalent as they were online anymore. Ow. All right. Claudio. Oh, I have not been updating life totals. So it should be 19 all, both fetch and cantrip. We're in it for the long run, boys. Oh, okay, wait, hold on. Actually, before we start this, I am just gonna go give my puppy some dinner. So we'll call it like a 5-minute break and then we'll continue. So go to the washroom, grab a snack, grab a drink, sit on thoughts. We'll be back in 5 minutes. All right, we're back a little early. So, okay. So we're back. What do I need to bring up here? I need to bring up this. Keep track of life totals. All right. So Claudio on the right, player 2. Jeffrey on the left, player 1. Jeffrey on blue-black control, and Claudio 2-upping him with two colors, green and red, with 4 color control. So down comes Mercurial Spell Dancer, which normally sees play in a tempo style list, but Jeffrey opting to play it in more of a control style list. So Claudio lets it resolve, depending on what land he wants here. So we see Uro, Brainstorm. Okay, probably not the right time to call it out. But on the top, we see Sylvan Library, Terminus, and Stifle. So drawing the Stifle. Looks like he is going to keep the 3 cards on top. He can shuffle away them anytime. So we see Dress Down, Tropical Island, Scalding Tarn, Force of Will, Brainstorm, Uro, Stifle. Jeffrey casting his own Brainstorm, triggering the Mercurial Spell Dancer, putting an oil counter. I'm going to oil it up. I'm going to lather it, splither it, splish and splash it. Kind of difficult to see what's in Jeffrey's hand. But looks like he's putting Wasteland as the next card to draw. So he opts out to draw Basic Swamp, puts a Wasteland on top. Looks like we had a Jace in hand. Jeffrey attacking for 2. Is that the only point that we've seen? So he should be at 17 now. Or not Jeffrey should. Claudio should be at 17. So Claudio just plays Tropical Island, Sylvan Library. Jeffrey untaps, draws the Wasteland. Take out the Tropical Island, perhaps? Or are we going to Jace here? Looks like we're going to Jace. Play Jace the Mind Sculptor. Gonna Force of Will that with a Stifle. Exiling Stifle. Exiling Dress Down. Alright, so Force of Will from Jeffrey. Right back at you. So is the Jace resolving? 'Tis the question. So Claudio fetching down to 15 now. Is this Earl Pile playing Staff? I don't think it's playing Staff yet. I think he's still acquiring them. The Toronto meta is quite thin on them at the moment. Or Toronto stores. I think the majority of them have been eaten up by the downtown players. Alright. This looks like an end of turn Brainstorm. So we see Teferi, Cosmo, Prismatic Ending. Oh no, this is all still in response to the Jace. So Spell Dancer up to 3 lather counters. Putting 2 Planeswalkers on the top. I assume this Jace is now gonna resolve. There we go. Fate Seal. We saw Teferi on the top, right? And I think Teferi now going to the bottom. So that means he's drawing the Cosmo. Oh, there's a Sylvan Library, so we don't know what he's drawing. Nope, so he put Cosmo on the bottom, and it's Teferi, Flooded Strand, Wasteland on the top. Keeping it exactly how it is, just drawing for turn. Yeah, so he's gonna draw the Teferi, try to most likely play Teferi to try and win the counter war, but Teferi becomes wide open to the Spell Dancer. Oh, so we're just gonna deal with this Jace here. Probably fetching the red source, the Volcanic Island. Oh, Taiga. Interesting. Opts for Taiga over Volcanic Island. Man, Jeffrey having every answer this game, eh? Days the Prismatic Ending. Alright. Untaps. So I think he has another Wasteland in hand. I think at this point you want to start brainstorming, right? So draws Days, another Dancer, and a second Days Undoing. So I think he's putting both Days Undoing on top. Putting Wasteland Days Undoing on top. So probably playing Island for turn, and then Wastelanding is the plan. Not entirely sure what you would Wasteland though. You take him off white. So I'm kind of questioning this Mercurial Spelldancer's. So he takes a Taiga. Very interesting. There's a Minsc and Boo on the top. So Minsc Force Plains. Opting to draw the Force of Will. So play Uro. Draws the plains off the top. Gets to play it. Dang, he dazes again. Wow, wow, wow. So many answers here. So both of those are missed triggers. The spell dancers should both have an additional counter on them. Looks like he's fate sealing Claudio. So all he gets to see is basic planes, which Jeffrey just keeps on top. So yeah, what I was saying before is I'm unsure of why the spell dancers are in the deck. Like all of the stuff you want to be copying are your cantrips, but we like it seems like very cantrip. Like he's not drawing his cantrips. I guess that's the reason why. It's like he just hasn't drawn them. So there's a Days Undoing. What's up, weird Scottish guy? How it do be going? How it do going be? How doing be? Him as well? Yeah, I guess you could also do it for him. I don't know, like would you not rather have like better cards than to just double up on these types of FX? Because it requires you to play more cards to make those cards doubled up. Like, I guess they're way more geared towards a tempo strategy rather than a control strategy, because you don't want to block with them, and you kind of want to block Uro. Oh my god, I haven't been keeping track of life. So because I don't know what the life totals are, we're gonna do this. It's a guessing game. Guys, if you're on camera, please use the phone. It is right there. It is sitting there doing nothing. You guys can keep your life totals with pen and pencil all you want, but please keep track of life on a phone somewhere and make sure the phone is visible. Jeffrey, you've been on camera like 6 times. You should know this by now, please. I'm begging you. Because all the other times have been fine. We're doing okay. We're trying to figure out all this footage and stuff. But beyond that, it's same old, same old. Just super busy with work as it's graduation time and trying to get all the students and stuff ready and prepped. So we're gonna -1 the Jace, bounce the Uro, get some good value there. Play this Wasteland that we've been top decking for a while now. Then we Wasteland, Wasteland the Tropicals, so we take the second green away so we can't Uro it back. Pay 3 mana, Days Undoing. Nice. Gets rid of the graveyard from Uro. And we shuffle away the Uro that we bounced. Like, these oil, like, we need to start seeing something, like, these Mercurial Spelldancers aren't convincing me that they should be in the deck. He needs to start using them. Because he's attacked with them every turn, right? Which is good. But he hasn't chosen to activate it even when he's had spells in hand. Granted, they were most likely the wrong spells, but this is a really good hand from Claudio. Double Force. So Claudio draws. Looks like it's a Prismatic Ending again. There's got Tundra. There's got double Prismatic Ending, Ponder, Brainstorm, Force of Will, Force of Will. Prismatic Ending, one of the spell dancers. Yep. So it's effectively just been a Snapcaster this entire time. Prismatic Ending, the other one. Yep. Well, we're gonna daze that one because you can no longer pay for it. We're gonna Force of Will that one. I think that's, that's what happens when you Days Undoing. Get back all the cards that you've seen in this game. So untap, Jeffrey draws another Edict. Is there no way for him to deal with the Sylvan Library? Because that's giving Claudio like a lot of selection here that he doesn't want to be dealing with. There's a Ponder from Jeffrey. 3 cards. One of them a Daze. Opting to shuffle. So this was in the pack that they're playing for. Is this game 1? I think this is game 1, right? This is him to Torok. Don't have to keep track of what was I called? Oil counters anymore. So Claudio has 1 card in hand, opts to Force of Will because he wants to protect the Minskin Boo. So hopefully we can get a red land off the top. There's a Taiga. Easy peasy. Draw, play Taiga, play Minskin Boo. Does he have a response? Does not look like it. All right. Claudio has tons of lands. Looks like the Boo is going to attack Jace. Jace upticks seems super sus against Sylvan. Yeah. I don't think he has... I guess it would be a better to like brainstorm as well. So here's a sudden edict. Oh no, Baleful Strix. Draw a card. I don't think Jeffrey can be in the position to be playing Wastelands. He's playing Baleful Strix. He's playing Hymn to Torox, Sinkholes. He has a lot of like dual mana pips. If he's playing Sinkholes, I don't think he needs Wastelands. But I guess his point is like whatever Wasteland can't hit, Sinkhole can hit, which is the basics. But it's rough, like the mana base here. Is that a Space Bellerin? Is that card even legal? Or is it Cosmo? That's Cosmo. Alright. It's about sending a message? What the hell does the dog even do? It does like a bunch of random stuff, right? Depending on what you roll. What is the 3? Is something like flashback? It returns an instant or sorcery from his graveyard to his hand? That's pretty crazy. That's pretty good. Alright, there's a sudden edict. Kills the boo. Very well timed. So can we do anything against a Minskin Boo and a Cosmo? There's another land from Jeffrey. He needs a way to deal with this Minskin Boo. I think he needs to start brainstorming to dig for answers. Because there's no way he can go on like this, especially now facing down 2 Planeswalkers. So he sees Baleful Strix, Stifle, Flooded Strand. I think it's a Stifle. Yes, that is Stifle. So he ditches 2 lands. Plays land to shuffle. Searches for Underground Sea. So still hasn't found an effective way to deal with this Minskin Boo. It's probably just attack it at this point. There's yet another land. Attacking Claudio. So we don't know what their life totals are at. But that's very curious. So he's not stressing about this Minskin Boo. So there's triple land on the top for Claudio. Definitely want the fetch land to get those off the top. Or get those shuffled away. So there was a miss upkeep, but, you know, it's kind of loose. Who cares? We're going to plus, make a 4/4, attack Jace. Gotta use Cosmo. I have no idea what that does. Does it make like a 1/1 or something? Alright, we need to know what Cosmo does. Wizard, stop printing retarded cards into our format. Oh, I'm not allowed to say that, right? Wizard, stop printing shitty cards that aren't meant to be played in 1v1 in our format. What is the dog called? Hey, don't clip it. Oh, it's Comet, not Cosmo. Comet, the Stellar Pup. So it creates 2 1/1 green squirrel creature tokens. They got haste until end of turn. That's really good with Boo. Because if you make the squirrel tokens, you don't need Boo anymore. You just pimp out your tokens. I do have to admit, The cosmic treatment, the foil effect, I don't know what they call it. But those ones are pretty good. They look pretty nice. So we play a Mercurial Spell Dancer. Not sure why we're holding up this Wasteland. Should be using it for mana or to just blow something up. Probably not worth blowing anything up anymore because he has so many lands. I guess if your goal is to oil up your Spell Dancer to start sinkholing everything, then the Wasteland can be useful. So we're cracking the Misty. Digging for... That's a Savannah. Man, we really need to Blood Moon this guy. Look at this mana base. Trop, Tundra, Taiga, Savannah. Whew. Alright, upkeep. Boo. Put Ponder on top. We have Spell Pierce. So draw the spell. No, draw Ponder? Shoot, I don't remember what you put on top. Alright, so he activates Comet. We're gonna stifle the Comet. Gonna cast a Ponder, so we know there's land. Not casting Ponder. But we do know that there's land, Spell Pierce, something else unknown. There should be an oil counter on this Spell Dancer. Yeah, so we're casting Ponder. Teferi, Spell Pierce. Play Teferi. Do we play Teferi? If you play Teferi, you're kind of setting him into his death, right? Unless you plus, you would have to plus. Curiouser and Curiouser. So not tapping for Teferi. Gonna plus. I'm gonna fling the Boo. Okay. Kill the Dancer. So we draw the Spell Pierce. We're casting Teferi. And we're gonna Daze. He's just gonna pay 1 mana, right? Bouncing Baleful Strix. And now, are we gonna kill this Jace with the 2 squirrels? Wait, is he conceding? Why? What is going on here? Why did he concede? I'm very confused. Please use a phone to track life totals. Please. I beg of you guys. Ah. Alright, we're gonna kind of skip through this. Why are there these 3 planeswalkers still on the... So he's just fully telling him that he's not taking them out? Cool. Nice and loose. Just how we like it. So a lot more disruption. We saw Pyroblast, Red Elemental Blast, Flusterstorm, Force of Negations, all coming in against Jeffrey here. Just gonna skip forward a bit. So Claudio draws Ponder, Brainstorm, Force, Wasteland, Swords, Windswept Teeth. This is kind of a sketchy hand. There's a lot of interaction, but your land in a 4-color deck is not great. I guess it's fixed with Ponder. I think you fetch a Tundra here, right? Yeah, because you want to keep your whatchamacallit, swords to plowshares open. Wow, no lands. But there is a carpet of flowers in there. So we're gonna shuffle. Yeah, makes sense. There's a tropical island. Draw brainstorm. And then pass the turn. Jeffrey draws Underground Sea. Plays the Marsh Flats. Cracks Marsh Flats. Oh, I should be doing life total, shouldn't I? Now that I can actually track it. So it's 19 all. Jeffrey also plays Ponder. So Ponder versus Ponder. Baleful Strix, Ponder, Polluted Delta, I want to say. So he opts to keep the Baleful Strix on top and he passes the turn. There is a third Brainstorm for Claudio. That is a lot of Brainstorms. And still finds no lands. This was a very sketchy keep, I said from the beginning. Especially in a 4-color deck. I don't think you want to keep the Wasteland. So yeah, get rid of Teferi Minskin Boo, but you want to draw the Teferi. Yeah. And now you are Brainstorm locked. What's up, Side Norns? Whoa, all the way from California? What's going on? What's good? It's like 7 o'clock for you there, right? What'd you got for big dinner? Just watching local Tuesday night legacy. Watching Blue Black Control versus. Okay, he says it's Blue Black Control. Okay, it is kind of Blue Black Control, but it feels a lot more tempo-y. Local to where? Local to Toronto. So we record footage, kind of not in Toronto, but north of Toronto. Once I get everything fleshed out, smoothed out with footage, maybe I might start just recording all of Toronto's legacy scene. Well, not all of it, but a good portion of it, if I can get permission from the stores. But yeah, we have a lot of stores that support legacy in the GTA. So there was a second crack from Jeffrey. Sorry, I got kind of distracted there. Claudio taking 1 damage from Baleful Strix, I suspect. So I think this is an end of... Nope, beginning of his turn, Brainstorm. Looking for more lands. Well, we find one, but it's a Taiga. Not exactly where we want to be, but we'll take anything at this point. I'm also not quite sold on Fairy Mastermind. Yeah, this is so awkward for a 4-color mana base. Not a huge fan of the keep here. Especially if you haven't fired off those Force of Wills. You have to be waiting for some pretty big, important spells there, but from Jeffrey, all we've seen are Baleful Strixes and Mercurial Spelldancers. Like, you've seen, like, a couple Planeswalkers and stuff, but nothing more than that. So down comes Brainstorm for Jeffrey. So he'll draw the second card and then Fairy Mastermind. So you'll need to resolve the Brainstorm first, and then the Fairy Mastermind will trigger, go on the stack. So Jeffrey draws. I think trigger on the stack, he's gonna try to Hull Breacher. I think that's what's happening here, which is super good. Okay, now I'm completely lost. So has the Brainstorm resolved? I don't know what's going on here. So he's gonna force exiling Narset, but Claudio uses Force of Wills. So he's used 2 going down to 16. Jeffrey uses his own Force of Will going down to 17. So we got into a battle of wills here. Jeffrey's will just a little stronger. So now Claudio's hand kind of just disappointing. He kept a double force hand, lost the force war, and has been so far behind on lands that he hasn't done anything effectively. Alright, so now we're double swinging with Baleful Strix, bringing Claudio down to 14. Has he drawn a 4th land for this Minskin Boo? It is not. It is a Swords to Plowshares. Takes care of the Hull Breacher. So Jeffrey will gain 3 life, going to 20. Fairy Mastermind attacking, bringing him down to 19. No, sorry, 18. I forget that is a 2-1. So he's got not a lot going on, Claudio, in his hand. He is 1 mana off of playing Cosmo and Minskin Boo. No, he doesn't have red-green for the Minskin Boo. So only 1 mana off for the Cosmo. Claudio swings again for Flash in Opposition Agent. Brainstorm in response. Did I miss 2 damage on Claudio? Should he be at 12? I think so, right? Because the 2 Baleful Strix. We counted the Fairy Mastermind twice, but only the Baleful Strix is once. How's the Legacy scene out in Cali? And it's in the Bay Area too, man. I really want to go to Evo. So Claudio takes 5, goes to 7. So down comes Carpet of Flowers. Carpet of Flowers is such an interesting card. So good. Man, Baleful Strix also a really good card too. Claudio tries to fetch, but there's an opposition agent on the board. Don't worry, Claudio. I tried to do the same thing last week. I tried to expedition map and I completely forgot about it. Except I didn't take it back. I let Jeffrey take my Urza Saga. And then he made his own construct, and the rest is history. Alright. Draw Sudden Edict off the top. Attack. Blocks the opposition agent. Goes down to 5. Claudio fetching goes down to 4. I hope I have this counted correctly. it's weird, man. Like, this should have been a mulligan, I think. So using the mana off the Carpet of Flowers, down comes a Minskin Boo. So this is gonna be rough. Swinging for 4, bringing Jeffrey to 12. It could get out of hand for Jeffrey now if he just draws nothing. I think you attack Claudio, bring him down to 2. So now Claudio has to interact with one of his Baleful Strixes. He also could just draw 4 cards, right? So Jeffrey trying to fetch around the Carpet of Flowers. So he gets a swamp off the Verdant Catacombs. But he must realize that he cannot fetch a swamp with Flooded Strand. He has to get an island. I wonder if he runs... Oh, no, it's just blue-black, so he doesn't have any planes. Makes sense. So he just played... Or he just fetched and passed? Would it not have just been better to leave up the fetch land and not fetch for anything? Instead of giving him a mana and losing a life? So Claudio has land, Force of Will in hand. Probably gonna uptick Boo here, right? And just try to race... You can't race the Baleful Strix, you have to sack it. Yeah, kill Baleful Strix, draw 4 cards. So I think he's drawing lands now, right? Oh no, it's Comet. Cosmo? Comet. Play Comet. Just using the Carpet of Flowers mana, I assume. So what is the 4 mana for? So it creates 2 1/1s. 2 1/1 squirrels with haste. Is he attacking with them? Now it gets like really confusing because we don't have the real life totals. So I think he has a Veil of Summer in hand. Looks like he's not attacking. Baleful Strix attacks. Takes Claudio down to 1 by our calculations. I don't know. This looked way more like a tempo strategy. It might have aimed to be like a mid-range deck, but I don't think it did well. I think it's better off as a tempo strategy. So we're sacking the Boo, killing the Baleful Strix to stay alive. We're gonna try and get to take over with this Comet. So Comet makes 2 more 1/1s, I believe. So Jeffrey has to do 1 point of damage somehow. And Claudio has 4 1/1s. Claudio attacking for 2, presumably. So Jeffrey has a phantom life total of 8. Down comes Sylvan Library using the mana from Carpet of Flowers. Plays a second one. Don't think any tempo decks runs Narset and Days Undoing. True. True. Polluted Delta. Cast Days Undoing. Risky here. Force of Will. Hard cast Force of Will. Days. Can't fetch. So it looks like this is going to resolve. Okay, so we've got hand resets, and now it's Claudio's turn. And Jeffrey effectively losing half of his life this turn from those 4 1/1s. So what are we drawing here? So Claudio Sylvan Library sees 3 lands. Draws one of them. Plays Tundra. And I guess we're just attacking. No, you want to activate Comet first, right? Because you could also get 2 1/1s. He makes 2 more 1/1s. So he's attacking for 6, maybe? Or still only for 4? Play a Ponder. Okay. So I think you want to shuffle, right? Because you saw 3 lands on the top. Yeah, there's a Stifle. Not sure if you really want that. Okay, so opposite keep the Stifle, just in case. And are we attacking for 6 here? Yep, looks like it. So Jeff goes down to 2. Wow, this is a pretty close match here. What is he stifling? Jeffrey's fetch, I guess? Is it 1-1? Two mana. Snapcaster. End of turn the Snapcaster. He's gonna Swords to Plowshare during the end step. Jeffrey goes up to 3. Yep, and I think that's the game. So I think as you can see here at the end, Claudio just gives it to Jeffrey because Claudio cannot stay for the last game. So Jeffrey beats Claudio in 3, I guess. But yeah. So let's get rid of this. So there won't be any footage for the next while. I think we won't have footage until Tuesday. I have too much booked on the weekend. There's too much for me to do, so don't have that. Hey, is it? Oh, Side Norna. Side Norna? Sidanorna? Sidanorna? Thanks for the follow, friend. I'm not sure if I'm being punked with the any enemy anime. Yeah. So Sunday we won't have footage to record. I won't be there in the tournament. If I don't think Dave is there either, so he won't have any footage for me to go over. So I think on Monday we're most likely going to do like a legacy league. I haven't decided on what deck we're gonna play. Tuesday we have the same locals, so we will be recording footage for that, and then we will be recording, or not recording. We'll be reviewing footage again next week on Wednesday. So yeah, it's I think that's the plan. So Monday will be a legacy league, and then Wednesday will be more footage review. If we end up playing some sort of legacy over the weekend, maybe I'll just record some casual games and we record or review some of that footage. But most likely not gonna happen. So tentatively, we'll say Legacy League on Monday and then um, footage review on Wednesday. Thanks to everybody who stopped by. Thanks for all the followers. So Side Norna. I think it's Side Norna, right? I think it's Side Norna. I'm gonna dwell on it. Is it? So thank you, Side Norna, Moist Breaker, and Wave Boy. I don't know why it didn't. Oh, because you subbed not during stream. But thank you for the Prime sub. Much appreciated. All the stuff that I get from stream gets pumped back into stream. Once I get all of the footage and stuff and all the settings and everything once I get all of that sorted out and smooth, then we'll film more events. My goal is to we have a big um face-to-face tour in Toronto. So my goal is to kind of hopefully get some footage of that, or maybe stream it if they have footage. I'll ask them if I can restream their footage. If not, we also Toronto has community run legacy leagues, so we're doing top 32 invitational tournament for that. So I'm gonna see if I can do some footage for the invitational tournament that we have in Toronto. So yeah, pretty exciting stuff coming up in the summer. But yeah, thank you to everybody who watched from beginning to end. If you came halfway through, thank you. And we'll see you on Monday. Bye.